Me again with another video. If you haven't met me before, I'm SaimA Uk. I'm a nurse from Southeast England, and I've been practicing here in the UK for the last 2 years. In today's video, we are going to talk about OET listening. As you all know, nowadays I am making videos about OET, and I'm just trying to help you guys, and also I'm sharing my tips and tricks how I passed the exam in first sitting, and I'm 100% sure you can do that too. I studied in Urdu. I'm from Pakistan, so I studied in Urdu, so it was a bit hard for me to learn all these things also when I was preparing for my exam. So I think I am the best person to share my experience, my tips and tricks in order for you to pass, right? So let's dive into the video without any further delay. As I said, we are going to discuss listening today, and in listening there are some tips that I wrote, and I'll like to share with you, and it's very important that you take a pen and paper and write them down. I'll give you a few seconds to get a pen and paper. Right, back. So first thing is you need to familiarize yourself with the exam, with the type of the exam. Remember, there are two parts of the test for the listening category. First is usually a consultation, and the second is presentation, right? And in part A, you know, it's a quick one, and you need to be very fast, fast acting. You need to write very quickly, and you need to write as much as you can, or whatever you hear, and possibly as much as you can, you need to write it down. In part A, it will require you to follow facts during a consultation, so it is a must to write in a note-taking format. So you need to write in a note-taking format, not in a long sentence. And you may write your answer in any order. You may paraphrase the information as long as you don't change what it means. Yes, you can do that. Part B needs understanding on health related topics, and you must complete the given task. Question and order will depend on the type of the task given. So as you all know, you are familiar with the exam, how it happens. You have practiced some test or from listening test, and do you find listening difficult? So for me, listening and speaking and writing was never a problem. I was stuck with the reading because I don't like to read. So I mean, magazines or books, they are not of my interest. But what I was doing, I was reading some journals in order to prepare for my OET exam. So reading was a problem for me. Listening was never a problem. But how can you improve listening is you need to listen a lot, pay close attention. So in the beginning, when I started preparing for OET, I started with listening. So what I was doing, I used to write it down, whatever I would hear in the news or on the radio or on my phone. If I'm watching a presentation, I would write them down. I would write the notes on the paper and read it afterwards, and I will also follow up if I missed any information, if I miss any words. So in that case, you can improve your writing speed, and also you can learn to listen, and to learn to listen correctly. Yeah, so if you want to do that, you can do that also. What you have to do is go on your app store. You can download TED Talks. Okay, TEDTALKS, TED Talks. Okay, listen to the TED Talks every day for 1 hour. All right, whatever TED Talks you like, there are many TED Talks available. If you like the topic, if you like if you like cooking, you can listen to the TED Talks about cooking. If you like reading, you can listen to the TED Talks about reading. If you like science or technology, you can listen TED Talks about science and technology. So according to your interest, whatever interests you, if you are into news, you can listen to the news, or there are also TED Talks available on news channels. All right, so you can download that app, and then you can it can be online, can be offline. Whenever you have time, you can listen to the TED Talks. So for me, I used to listen to the TED Talks every day, 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the evening. How? Because I used to work in that time I was in Dubai. I used to work, so my travel time from home to work was almost 30 minutes. So every morning I would just go to my TED Talks, and then I would listen throughout the way. I would listen to the TED Talks. Sometimes I would just shut my eyes and just listen to the TED Talks and pay close attention to them. And then I also tried to understand what they were saying. But if I'm home, what I used to do is I was writing them down. All right, you can do that too, and it's really, really helpful. If you are poor in listening station, you can practice it. You can do this, you can follow this technique, and I am 100% it will work for you. All right. You need to familiarize yourself with the real world voices, because that is what is used in the exam. And listening to the music, or if you like to listen songs, you can listen songs in English. If you like to watch drama serials, you can watch drama serials in English. If you like to watch drama series from our YouTube channels, such as ARY Digital or Geo TV, you can just turn on the captions and read them at the bottom. While you're watching your drama, you can learn English also. All right, also make sure you write your answer as soon as possible when you listen to it. When you are listening to the audio, try to write it as soon as possible, as fast as possible, because when it's gone, it's gone. And at the end also, you don't get enough time to go back and write your answer. You will be having only 2 minutes, so they are not enough to go back and check what answer you wrote and what you did not write. So make sure you do it when the audio is playing. If you if you missed one answer, just follow the throw, just go with the flow. Okay, don't go back to that question again. Don't pay close attention to that question that you missed. All right, just follow the flow, just go with the flow. And then if, let's say, for example, if the audio was playing, and I missed question number 2. I missed the answer. I did not hear it correctly, what they were saying. And then the audio is continuous. They are not going to stop the audio for you, so you can think. The audio is still ongoing. And then you don't need to think about question 2 at that time. Just concentrate on question 3. Just look for your upcoming answer for the question 3. Don't focus on question 2 at that time. If you missed it, just miss it. All right, but if you still have few seconds, you can just write it down, just a short note for you. Maybe you will remember later on what they said, and by that tiny note. All right, and I would say, if you miss an answer, don't worry, just go with the flow, and then look for the next question's answer. What I used to do if I forgot something or I missed something in the practice test or in my exam also, I did once. If I forgot or I missed I missed an answer, I would just pray and rewrite it legibly. So I don't know if it helps, but I do believe that prayers, they are answered. And so if you cannot think of anything, just pray in your mind and write whatever you heard. If you missed it, just write whatever you heard. All right. Also, the important tip here is for you is to read the marking criteria, because if you don't know how they are going to grade your test, how they are going to grade your exam, then you won't be able to pass it. You need to know how they grade your scores, and then only you will be able to check where you need the improvement, where you need to improve, and what you need to do. All right. So my first next tip is write as much as you can. We have discussed it already. If it is in the conversation, then it is part of the answer. Yeah, if it is in the conversation, then it is part of the answer. Practice Australian audiobooks. You can do that. Practice TED Talks. They are really helpful for listening. Practice every day. Don't be complacent, and when you practice, set the standard higher, like making the passing marks higher than what is needed. If you need if you are doing 20 questions, and let's say for example, and the passing rate is 15, don't just get 15. Set your standards higher. Try to get 20 or try to get 19. So if you are practicing in this way, you are more likely to pass your exam. All right. Use 2 to 3 pencils, yeah, because it's much better to write in a properly sharpened pencil. If the examiner can't understand, if your writing is not legible, if they is not readable, you are not going to get a mark for that. So you try to when you go for your exam, take 3 or 4 pencils with you, and sharpened pencils, because you won't be having time to sharpen your pencil at that time. And at the beginning of your exam, you can sharpen all of them. Keep them ready on your table, and when you need them, use them right away. I always imagine that I'm in a clinic with a doctor asking a patient, and you need to take that patient's information, taking as many information as possible. Yeah. So I used to do that while listening. I would think that the consultant is here. He's there with the patient, and I need to take the information down. I need to write my notes. So whatever the the consultant is saying, I need to note it down, and I will try to write as much as possible, as many things as possible, and this is how you can ace your exam. And I used to do that. You can do that too. Consider that you are with the consultant, and you are the only person there. You are the only healthcare professional there. You are the only nurse there, and you need to report whatever he is saying. You need to report it to your manager or to your other employees or your colleagues. So you need to write as much as you can. Yeah, follow that technique and it works. Yeah. My baby is getting upset now. All right. So for listening, most important tip for you is to listen and listen, even when you're sleeping or you're trying to sleep. Put your headphone in your ears, and then you can listen after you do your prayer. Put your TED Talks on with your hand free or with your headphones, and try to listen to TED Talks a lot. TED Talks, they help a lot, and they helped me to pass my listening test, and I got higher marks in listening, I think. So always pay close attention what the speaker is saying. And if you have time, if you're not working, if you're free, you can just write down what they are saying and try to listen attentively. It is very important. Even when you're watching a drama or series, turn on the captions and try to read at the bottom what they are saying, and how do I translate it in the English, and how you can how you can understand it better. Just try to concentrate, pay close attention. And if you listen every day, if you practice it every day, then only it's possible that you can pass your exam in first go. I know some people have different accents, so even with the recordings that they play for your exam, they usually use British accent or Australian accent or American accent. Any accent they can use, but most of the times it's British accent. All right. So what you can do is you can watch YouTube videos of some people who are British, or who use a British accent, because then only you will get used to the accent. Then only you will get used to the British accent. All right. So if you are not practicing listening every day, it will be difficult for you to pass the exam. So practice, practice, and practice. And it's very I mean, listening is quite simple in OET. It's very easy. Listening and speaking is way too easy to pass in the OET exam, honestly, I'm telling you. So but you need to practice. I know some people, they are hard, it's hard for them to pass listening because they don't pay close attention or they cannot concentrate when something so everybody has different way of thinking, everybody has different way of I mean, different way of taking the things into consideration. But for me, I am quite multitasking, and if you want to do OET or IELTS, you need to be multitasking. So while you are listening, you need to write also. Hold on. Yeah, so you need to be multitasking, and how you can do that, you need to do masters in that. Yes, so if you are not practicing, you won't be able to do it. You need to practice it every day, then only you can pass OET listening. All right, what I would suggest is every day, if you have time, listen to something in English for at least 2 hours, once in the morning, once in the evening. All right, or if you have time, listen to something and write it down for at least 30 minutes. Okay, listen to a consultation or listen to a TED talk and write it down. If you miss something, go back, listen to the TED talk again, and then see what you missed. But here, one important thing I want to say is, if you miss a minor thing, I mean, if you miss I'm saying, if I'm saying I'm going to the doctor, and then you miss I am, it's fine. But if you understood going the doctor, it's still all right, because you got the meaning, you understood it, that I'm going to the doctor, right? But if you just miss the articles, it's fine, but do not miss the important words. Yeah, so always write it down for at least 30 minutes if you have time. If you don't have time, just listen and listen and listen whenever you get the opportunity. If you are going to work, you can listen to TED talk for 10 minutes. If you are going to a shopping market or to do some grocery, you can listen to anything you like, or news or geographic channel, or anything you like, you can listen. If you are driving, you can listen. If you are in the toilet, yes, you can put your TED talk on, you can turn it on and listen to it. If you are cooking, you can do that. I'm giving you different option because I used to do all of them. So sometimes if I'm eating, or that was the time only, if I'm eating, I was not practicing. I don't do anything when I'm eating. But other than that, if I'm cooking, I would listen to something. If I want to watch a YouTube drama or YouTube video or something, I would listen to them. I would watch the video when I'm doing something. So you need to be multitasking. All right, don't just spend all the time, I mean, don't just do it when you are sitting down. If you are going to do that, it will not be possible for you to pay. I mean, it will not give you a lot of time. So even when I was younger, in my school or college time, I used to study while I'm doing something. Or if I'm cooking, I would study, I would listen, or I would read my book, or whatever. I always do things together. I'm quite multitasking. So if you can adopt this habit, it's really good, and it will save you loads of time and energy. It will save you loads of time and energy. Yes. And sometimes if you are with someone in the bus, if you are traveling in the bus or in the car, if you are driving, do not pay close attention to reading, but you can listen. Yeah. But if you are with the friends, just give your time to your friends. I mean, it's just common sense how you can incorporate your time properly. And I would say you can do it in many ways. Yeah, so 2 hours in a day, and then if you want to write it down, 30 minutes is enough. Yes, I promise you, you can pass your listening if you follow these techniques and familiarize yourself with the exam setting and with the presentation. Listen to the consultants on YouTube and write them down. Listen to any nurse on the YouTube who is giving you a presentation or something, or who is teaching you about something. Write it down and improve your your listening. Also, a good listener is a good speaker. So if you can listen well, if you can improve your listening, for sure you can improve your speaking and reading and writing. All right, so tomorrow I'm going to make a video on writing. Stay tuned on for that video, and I'll see you soon in that in the next video. I hope you like this video. If you did, please let me know in the comment section how helpful it was for you. You can also share it with your friends and colleagues and who are preparing for OET or IELTS. You can share it with them because they need to benefit from it also. So I'll see you soon. Till then, take care. Bye bye. God bless you. Please subscribe also.